Thank you so much to ConTech for this opportunity to share a bit about Esri and our perspective on GIS, BIM, and digital twins in construction, all topics of great interest to anyone in the construction technology industries. I'm Marc Goldman. I'm the Director of AEC Industry Solutions at Esri. I've been in the AEC industry for about 30 years as a user, as a developer, as a solution engineer, a product manager, a marketer, and a strategist. And in that time, I've seen our industry get excited about the promise of technology, but I've never seen a time of such great opportunity and such interest in improving the ways of working. Therefore, it's my pleasure to share some of my excitement, to give you a bit about Esri, and to provide some thoughts about GIS, BIM, and digital twins. Now, like many of you over the years, I focused on CAD and BIM. I touched on GIS, did a bit of work around GIS, but as an AEC professional, GIS was sort of tangential to my work. So I want to take a few minutes to give you an overview of Esri. Esri is one of the oldest, and by many measures, the most successful software company in the world. Founded in 1969, Esri has grown to become a global leader in GIS software, in location intelligence, in mapping. With over 5,000 employees in 100 offices worldwide, Esri provides organizations of every size and every location intelligence, location intelligence, to get deeper insights from their spatial data. We've got over 2,800 partners who enhance our solutions and encourage our customers to leverage their location intelligence to deliver great solutions for many industries. And with about 350,000 customers worldwide and about 10 million users, we are the largest and greatest installed base of GIS software. Roughly 90 of the Fortune 100 companies are using Esri software to deliver location intelligence for their various industries. 97% of the E&R top firms, 87 of the top Forbes colleges. They're serving over 250,000 students are coming out every year with GIS experience, specifically ArcGIS experience. And because we're a private company, we don't have the pressure of shareholders breathing down our neck. So we put 30% of our revenue, not profit, but revenue back into R&D, which results in amazing products coming from Esri every year. The use of GIS, it's varied and very important. And these are just a few of the many, many ways that location intelligence enables AEC professionals to get their work done. Now, as I mentioned, we're at a very exciting time where technology has infiltrated our daily lives, and AEC industry is no exception. The emergence of AEC platforms for collecting and sharing information of all types at very high fidelity is simply expected these days. The demand for digital workflows from clients with visualization, with dashboards for reporting, for making clear understandings for fast decision-making is the way work happens these days. And in our industry, the importance of interoperability, data exchange, and barrier-free ways of collaborating is just the standard. It's the way of working. Now, GIS as a basis of AEC work gives us an environment of connections and integrations for the purpose of understanding the relationships, the history, and predicting future behaviors of projects. It starts with capturing information and integration of various types of data and systems. CAD, BIM, LiDAR, just to name a few. And Esri has a number of products addressing these topics. GIS is an amazing foundation for visualizing past conditions and streamlining real-time data to create greater levels of understanding. And Esri has offerings that address that element of GIS workflow and AEC workflow. Now, gaining understandings so that predictions can be made, decisions can be made most easily, these are accomplished through artificial intelligence, machine learning, simulation, and forecasting capabilities of GIS. And as you'd expect, Esri's offerings address these areas and capabilities as well. And information sharing and collaboration is one of the greatest capabilities of GIS and ArcGIS in particular. Engaging stakeholders, collaborating with teams of all types and sizes, securely sharing compelling information. It's a big part of AEC. It's a big part of the productivity of AEC, bringing in stakeholders of various levels of expertise. And again, Esri's offerings address this. So I mentioned BIM, GIS, and digital twin. I'm going to assume this audience knows what BIM is. GIS, I've explained a little bit, and I'll give some more examples, but digital twin. Now, that's a term that has come into our vernacular just in the last few years. It's been around for many years in many industries, But from a GIS and an AEC perspective, digital twins, as we see them, they're virtual representations of the real world. Pretty easy to understand. It includes the physical objects represented virtually, the processes represented virtually, the relationships and behaviors. That's where it gets a little more complex. But the interesting thing about GIS is that it delivers, let's go back there. GIS, it delivers a unique opportunity here. GIS brings together these digital models of the natural and built environment. It helps create those digital environments, but it also uniquely integrates the many, many types of digital models that exist in our world. Architects and building engineers who model their projects with data, they're allowing planners to simulate the future facility operations well before that first truck rolls to the job site. A digital twin available to an extended team of stakeholders, it lets the planners run energy, circulation, or evacuation scenarios to ensure regulations are met prior to actual construction. And then during construction, scans posted to the digital workplace, they're used as a source of feedback for comparing the built conditions to the planned conditions. And by connecting data across an organization, such as facilities, energy, security, leasing, maintenance, all these different departments of a built environment, well, the operations become centralized, simplified, efficient. And then finally, later in a building's life, the digital twin can be used to analyze the building performance, the comfort, the actual occupancy, and the load situations. So GIS, BIM, and digital twins, they're synchronizing the digital and the physical. Behaviors are more easily monitored. In this example of a pump station, we can see the BIM environment brought into the GIS environment so that we can then explore the objects that were designed in that engineer's desktop, but made available in a web environment that's very easily navigable, very more easily understood. But it's not just that BIM model in the GIS space where we can click on objects and see their original attributes. This information is very easily embedded into dashboards, into multiple view environment where camera scenarios can be compared next to the BIM model, where dashboards are presenting real-time information on the performance of the building, of the performance of the pumps, of the tanks, enabling digital workflows of the physical objects. Now, the digitalization of our world, it's occurring, and it has been for decades. And in AEC, I see it accelerating, which is part of the excitement that I have. And when we talk about digitalization, we can cover many topics. Here we refer to the modeling of things. And with GIS as a framework for that digitalization, we can bring in not just the building information models, but the landscape information models, the network information models, like our utilities, the whole city information model. And I was actually reminded recently in a presentation that there's more. A mining information model doesn't really fall into any of those categories. So as we're digitizing our world, as we're thinking about these information models, GIS provides an opportunity to bring them together. It really has a unique role. So we agree that digital twins solve problems in our industry, but why GIS? Well, GIS is ideal to present the federated data sets in dashboards, in story maps, in 2D and 3D and 4D, where time is brought in, maps that enable communication, that observations can be more easily gleaned, analysis of these built and natural systems can be understood. One of the powers of GIS is that as more data is added, more benefits the system provides. And GIS is really the only technology that provides a single and unique key for assets. That is location. The things we build are located somewhere. Everything exists somewhere, and GIS can be used to create digital twins of AEC projects, but it also can be used to integrate many digital representations of the real world, like this example of Paris, where demographics information, passenger information of where train stations are being utilized is leveraged to design out the entire infrastructure for an improved Paris rail system. So what are the purposes of digital twins? I've talked about how information comes together to create them. I've shown some examples of GIS and BIM brought together. In construction, digital twins are enabling improved operations. So in construction projects, a digital twin, it's a combination of the 3D model, the 2D drawings, and all that relevant non-graphical information, all the technical information of the objects that exist within the model. But there's more to it than that. In this case, we've got a digital twin, again, of a water treatment plant, but we can see that there's a synchronization between the physical building and the objects that are digitally represented, the engineering specifications, the construction errors, or as we call them, the as-builts. And then the actual measured performance data. This creates a complete digital representation that supports an entire life cycle: plan, design, build, and operate. And when the digital twin is accessible to all hardware platforms so that information can be used at the physical location, this really changes the means and methods of communication. The result is a project that's better designed, engineered, constructed, and operated. So in this example, we can see out in the field, a field engineer using his iPad to interact with the digital twin that's comprised of the BIM information based on a GIS platform. The result here, a project that's better designed, better engineered, better constructed, and better operated. With that, I'm going to wrap up. I want to thank the ConTech community. I want to thank the Construction 4.0 event organizers. Thank you so much.